guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm only be eating Turkish food for the next 24 hours. I'm currently on holiday in Italia and I thought it'd be a pretty good idea if I spend the entire day only eating Turkish food. Now to be honest, even though it's like day 4 of our trip, I've not experienced like proper Turkish food. I mean, I have experienced things at breakfast here and there, but not experienced a proper Turkish food. Hopefully today I might experience that. I've no idea, and to be honest, I genuinely have no idea how good Turkish food actually is. Even though it's day 4, I feel like Turkish food, they don't cook their food properly, because recently we went to a restaurant and their chicken, it was like soft and not hard, if you know what I mean. But who knows what might happen today, I have no idea. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoy. If you do, smash the videos up, subscribe down below, and without further ado, let's get started. It is currently 10 o'clock and I've got ready for the day, and first off is breakfast. Now my hotel actually do like a buffet style breakfast, and I thought because it was like a Turkish hotel, the possibility might have like, you know, Turkish food. The only like Turkish thing that I could find downstairs is the Turkish sausages, Turkish bagel, and basically they actually make their scrambled eggs a lot different to how we do, because in their version they actually have meat. Not gonna lie guys, I'm pretty hungry, so hopefully breakfast it actually be a pretty good breakfast. But I am about to go and have my breakfast. Their breakfast is actually on floor -1 and it takes a long time to actually get there, and I'm actually hungry. Anyway, I'm about to leave and I'll see you guys at the breakfast buffet. My hotel breakfast, honestly, it was the best breakfast that any hotel actually has to offer, because whatever you wanted, they actually had it. First off, I start with the water because I was feeling a bit ill. So at this point, water, it was my best choice. Even though I genuinely had no idea where it's from, it was actually my best choice. Anyway, grabbed my plate, and the first thing that I headed were for the baked beans. Logically, that was the only thing I could have at this moment. Anyway, I put the baked beans on my plate, and guys, these baked beans, honestly, they were so nice. And then headed for the scrambled egg section, and like I was saying, every single day they always change it. Today, they actually had it with spinach, and it was so nice. They also had a lot of pastries, everything like that, but I didn't have that because I didn't trust it at this point in time. To play it safe, I basically went for the chips because I don't normally have chips for breakfast, but on this holiday, I was having chips for breakfast. I mean, it was the first time having it, so I can't complain. By the way, these chips, they were genuinely the nicest chips, and you could tell I was definitely struggling with putting them on my plate. They also offered this apple juice, and by the way, this apple juice, it was the best apple juice. It was ice cold, it was fresh, it was literally everything, the best apple juice. Then it was time to find actual proper Turkish food, and at this buffet I don't think I found anything apart from the Turkish bagel, and they looked pretty interesting. Turkish people, they actually enjoy their meat, they actually enjoy their cheese. But because I was ill, I genuinely didn't trust it, because if I had it, I would basically be sick because I was ill at this point. Anyway, grabbed myself a chocolate croissant and the Turkish bagel, and overall, this Turkish bagel, it was actually pretty interesting. To finish off my breakfast, I actually had Turkish tea. Even though it wasn't a genuine Turkish tea, basically it was their own version of English tea, and it was actually pretty nice. If you guys know, I don't drink tea at all, but because I was ill, I was having it. And guess what? It actually really helped me, and basically that was my breakfast done. Right guys, I just had my breakfast. Technically the only thing that I had were the Turkish bagel. I did actually find the Turkish sausages, but because of my stomach, I didn't have it, so I left it out. Also, I actually tried the scrambled eggs, and like I was saying, in their version, they basically add meat. I think every single day they always add something different. One day it was cheese, one day it was spinach, one day it was meat. And by the way guys, hotel scrambled eggs, honestly, it tastes so much nicer. Genuinely have like no idea what's in it, but it tastes so much nicer. Anyway, we're about to go on this boat ride, and hopefully in that area they might have like a few like Turkish food stall for our lunch, and hopefully the food, it will be pretty nice. Even though we've not found like proper Turkish food, hopefully in that area we might find some. I have no idea. We're about to leave and I will see you guys once we are there. Whilst waiting for our boat to arrive, I came across an ice cream stall and basically I did the famous ice cream trick. And by the way, Turkish ice cream, they taste pretty chewy. Anyway, in this pot, I actually had 6 flavors of different ice cream and overall it was actually pretty nice but a bit too chewy. After our boat ride, we went on a pretty long walk to actually find proper Turkish food and we found this restaurant, and in the end, it basically gave more of a Pakistani vibe than a Turkish vibe. Overall, the food, it was genuinely pretty nice, and this was the first time I actually enjoyed the food because it was cooked properly. We had kebab, chicken, naan, rice, oh, and fries as well. Here's me trying the food, and like I was saying, the food, it was genuinely so nice, and this was the first time I actually went to a restaurant and I actually enjoyed the food and didn't feel sick afterwards. I feel like Turkish food is basically hit and miss because sometimes you enjoy it and sometimes you will hate it. But today I actually enjoyed it. Anyway, after our dinner we actually went to this restaurant where they did the frozen fruit dessert, and I gotta tell you guys, it was actually pretty interesting. It tastes nothing, and I mean nothing, like the one in the UK. For me, it was a bit sweet and not like, down sweet, you know what I mean? Right guys, we just come back to the hotel room, and let me tell you, that place that we had our late lunch, early dinner, it was actually pretty interesting. And for the first time on this trip, I actually enjoyed the food because I felt like it was actually cooked properly. Previously, when I go to like an all Turkish restaurant, I realized that they don't actually cook their food properly, because yesterday I went to a restaurant and the chicken, it wasn't cooked properly at all, but today in the restaurant I went to, it was actually cooked properly, and I felt like a Pakistani restaurant more than a Turkish restaurant. Anyway, the food, it was actually pretty nice, and we're now back, and the current time right now is actually 10:30. So I think today we might get something later on. I have no idea, but if we do, then obviously. Anyway, we're now back, and the current time right now is actually 10:30. And guys, we had that meal, I think it was like a 6:30. So 4 hours later, I am hungry, but not like for a proper Turkish meal. So basically, whatever we get now, hopefully it's like a Turkish takeaway or like a Turkish McDonald's or Turkish Domino's. I have no idea. Whatever we get, I'll let you guys know. And right now, all I can say, I'm full. But I'll let you guys know if we get anything else. It was time to try Turkish McDonald's, and let me tell you, Turkish McDonald's tastes the exact same as the one in Pakistan. I actually got the quarter pounder, and not gonna lie guys, it tasted plastic. Also, they actually used the wrong bun because I don't know why. Overall, it was pretty decent, can't lie. It's the next day, and like I was saying, yesterday we didn't actually end up having like any proper Turkish dinner. Even though we actually had like Turkish McDonald's, but guys, it's actually the exact same as the one you get in Pakistan. And to me, I don't actually count that as like a Turkish dinner or like a proper Turkish dinner. But today in the evening, we go down Legends and hopefully have like a restaurant there that actually do like a proper Turkish meal. But we'll find out once we get there. So in the end, we actually came back to the hotel and we actually went to this restaurant called Pablito. This restaurant, honestly, it was the worst restaurant because it was literally expectation versus reality. I feel that this restaurant, it was more scenery than food because it basically had nice scenery, but the food, it was not nice at all. Genuinely, the only thing that were nice were the fish and chips. I'm not even lying, the only thing that were nice were the fish and chips. But I tried the pizza, and overall the pizza, it was actually pretty nice. And by the way, this pizza, it was so thin. Guys, I'm now back in my hotel room, and that restaurant, it was actually a pretty interesting restaurant. We actually ordered a bit everything from the menu, and the only thing that came out nice were the fish and chips. Genuinely, I'm not lying, the only thing that came out nice were genuinely fish and chips, because when you actually go to a foreign country, fish and chips is literally the safest option. But having Turkish food in a Turkey country, no lie guys, I actually found it difficult because you genuinely have like no idea what is Turkish and what's not. But overall, this video actually is a pretty interesting video. I mean, I try my absolute hardest, and obviously, I try my absolute hardest, and I feel like if I did this video in the UK, it will be a lot easier because obviously in the UK, you will know what is Turkish and what's not. I feel like I might do it again in the UK, but you know, it was actually pretty alright having Turkish food for the whole entire day, basically 2 days. But one of the things I find pretty crazy is that over here in this hotel at breakfast, they always change change it around. So yesterday it was the Turkish bagel, that was the only Turkish breakfast item, and today it was like this flatbread with meat on it, and tomorrow it might be something completely different. Lunch wise, I actually really enjoyed it because it was actually okay, even though we got to try the Turkish McDonald's, but that was literally the exact same as the one I get in Pakistan. And obviously this restaurant, it was actually a pretty interesting experience. So basically having Turkish food in Turkey overall is actually a pretty interesting experience. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you all for a brand new video very soon. Peace.